I didn't find out the way people expect. There was no lipstick on a collar, no dramatic confession, no phone left unlocked by accident. I found out because his silence changed. He stopped asking how my day was, stopped looking at me when I spoke, stopped noticing when I pulled away. And that's when I understood something important. Cheating doesn't always start with another person. Sometimes, it starts when someone decides you no longer matter. We weren't broken at the beginning. That's what hurts the most. He used to listen, really listen. He remembered the little things, the way I hated loud places, the way I needed reassurance but never asked for it. I felt chosen. Not just loved, chosen. And when someone makes you feel that way, you don't expect them to become the person who slowly erases you. The change wasn't loud. It was subtle, quiet. He started guarding his phone like it was part of his body, smiling at messages he never explained, getting annoyed when I asked simple questions. Suddenly, I was too emotional, too insecure, overthinking again. I wanted to believe him, because believing him was easier than accepting that I was already losing him. But deep down, I felt it. You always feel it. What people don't talk about is how betrayal often comes with manipulation. He didn't admit anything. He made me doubt myself. He said I was imagining problems, that I was ruining something good with my fears. So I started apologizing for things he was doing to me. I questioned my intuition, my emotions, my reality. And that's when I realized the betrayal wasn't just physical, it was emotional. One night I saw her name, just a name, no hearts, no pictures, nothing obvious, and still everything became clear. I didn't confront him. Instead, I watched. I watched how easily he lied, how naturally he switched stories, how calm he stayed while I was quietly breaking. And that's when I understood. He wasn't afraid of losing me. He was confident I wouldn't leave. So I stopped talking, not because I was weak, but because I was learning. I stopped explaining my feelings, stopped asking for honesty. I listened. And the more silent I became, the more careless he grew. He thought my silence meant acceptance. He was wrong. Silence was my awakening. There's a strange kind of grief in falling out of love while still in a relationship. I watched him drift further away while standing right in front of me. I stopped missing him before he was gone. And when love fades quietly, it never comes back loudly. When I left, there was no scene, no shouting, no begging, no final argument. I packed my things and removed myself from his life. That's when the panic started. Messages, calls, confusion. He wanted explanations. I owed him none. He said it was sudden, that it came out of nowhere. But leaving is never sudden. It's the final step after 1,000 quiet realizations. I didn't leave because of one message. I left because I finally chose myself. I didn't destroy him. I didn't seek revenge. I walked away whole. And sometimes that's the most powerful ending of all. I used to think that love meant patience. That if I stayed quiet long enough, if I explained myself one more time, if I softened my words, he would finally understand me. But understanding was never the problem. He understood me perfectly. He just didn't respect what I was saying. Every time I brought something up, he would sigh, roll his eyes, Tell me I was overthinking. He never raised his voice. That's what made it worse. He smiled while dismissing me. He joked while crossing my boundaries. And somehow, that made me feel dramatic for feeling hurt. I started choosing my words carefully. Then I started choosing my battles. Then one day I stopped choosing myself. I became quieter, smaller, easier to ignore, and he seemed happier that way. People think betrayal is always obvious. Messages on a phone, a name you don't recognize, a late night that doesn't make sense. But emotional betrayal is much quieter. It sounds like laughter when you're trying to talk. It looks like attention given to everyone else while you're waiting in the same room. It feels like being lonely next to someone who promised you would never feel alone again. I remember one night clearly. We were sitting on the couch. The TV was on, but neither of us was watching. I told him I felt invisible. He didn't argue. He didn't comfort me. He just said, "You're imagining things." And that sentence did more damage than any lie ever could. Because when someone tells you your feelings aren't real, you start questioning your reality. I wondered if I was too sensitive, too needy, too much. I started apologizing for things I didn't do, apologizing for needing reassurance, for wanting honesty, for asking to matter. And he let me. That's the part people don't talk about, not what they did, but what they allowed you to believe about yourself. The turning point wasn't a fight. It wasn't a discovery. It wasn't a dramatic ending. It was a moment of clarity so quiet I almost missed it. I was sitting alone, scrolling through photos on my phone, pictures of us smiling, trips we took, moments that looked happy, and I realized something terrifying. I felt more at peace alone in that moment than I had felt with him in months. That's when I understood. Love isn't supposed to make you feel small, confused, or invisible. And anyone who benefits from your silence is not protecting your peace. They're stealing it. Leaving wasn't sudden. It was built from 1,000 small moments where I chose myself last. From every time I stayed quiet to keep things calm. From every time I convinced myself that this was normal. When I finally said I was done, he looked shocked. He said he didn't see it coming. He said I never warned him. But I had been warning him every time I spoke. He just didn't think I would actually leave. That's the thing about people who don't listen. They assume you'll stay no matter how little they give. Until one day, you don't. I didn't leave angry. I left clear. Clear about what I deserve. Clear about what I will never accept again. And clear about this. If someone only understands your value after you walk away, they never truly valued you at all. And walking away wasn't losing him. It was finding myself again.